all give yourselves a hand clap? Because there's so many other places you can be and so many other things that you can be doing. I'm just glad to be here. I heard somebody say at one point, they said that I'm so excited and delighted that I've been invited to be here with you today. Give yourself another hand clap. After all that has been said, I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it up here because I was over there fighting back tears and everything. What a wonderful testimony. Sister Jones, Denise, as you said, keep on going, keep on striving. But you know what? I'm going to tell you my story now because I'm striving too. All right. You know, my son was up earlier and he talked about how he hated school, how he didn't like to go to school. And it's ironic, we had different situations, but when I was young, I hated going to school. And you see, when I was going to school, well, let me say this. Let me back up a little bit. My situation was in my home, I had problems because I grew up, myself and my siblings, we grew up with our mother telling us that we're the worst children that she ever saw in her life. Yeah. My mother said, I hate the day you were born. I know. She used to say things like, you all make me sick. Oh, yeah.
Y'all better listen.
What kind of children are you?
That's right.
And always compare us with the children down the street.
That's right.
Or some of the Jewish or Caucasian children of whom parents she worked for, washed their tubs and cleaned their floors and washed their dishes and took care of their children. That's right. And so she always asked, or she would always say, where did you come from? I wish you had never been born. Mm-hmm. And so that gave me an acute, not just acute, but chronic spirit, attitude, mindset of low self-esteem. In other words, I was made to feel like I was nothing, and I bought into it.
That's right.
I bought into it hook, line, and sinker.
We did.
And so imagine going to school, and some of you all know what I'm talking about. Some of you young people, you know, because it's not anything different that's going on today. When you go to school, that's one of the places that you'll get roasted real good. Oh, yeah. Am I telling the truth? Yeah. How many young people know that? They will roast you. They will heat you like a baked chicken.
That's right.
And one of the things that they usually heat you for is things like your looks.
Right.
Oh, don't be overweight.
Right.
Don't be chubby.
That's right.
You know, because chubby and overweight don't mean chubby and overweight to young people. That means you obese. Right. That means you fat. Right. That means you jelly.
Right.
Oh, and don't have to wear glasses.
No.
You know them. You got 4 eyes.
Right.
You know, back in the day, some of you young people don't remember, but pops, sodas came in the pop bottle, yeah. Glass. Yeah. And at the bottom of it, they were thick. Yeah. So when the bottom of that bottle was thick, so when you wore glasses, when I was coming up in school, you didn't have on specs or some of the other old names. What they called my glasses was pop bottles. Oh, it don't have a bald head. No. You know, I've been struggling with that for many years. Yeah. You know, but we came up in the day when Michael Jackson was around. Right. You know, and he had an afro. Right. I don't care. I braided my hair. I straightened my hair. I put Jerry curl in my hair, juice dripping everywhere. But for some reason, my hair wouldn't grow no more than about like this. Right. Now, that's nothing to some of you young people right now. But back then, with everybody walking around like this, eclipsing the sun, I only had this much. And it was a terrible thing. But then, what they'll roast you for in school when you're young is if you seem like you're not smart. Oh, yeah. So that'll cause you not to ask questions. And as Denise said, that'll cause you not to be able to answer questions. Because you know if you get it wrong, everybody going to hit the floor laughing.
That's right.
And people that are smart, they'll laugh at you out on recess.
Right.
People will laugh at you, you know, in their little groups. And there you are sitting, afraid to step out, afraid to understand, and afraid to realize that there's no dumb questions. And there's no dumb answers. But that's how you get roasted. Then the other thing is, when it looks as though you don't have enough money, or it looks as though your family is not wealthy or have enough to buy you the newest gym shoes. Answer a question for me, some young person. What would be a pair of gym shoes that if you saw a person with today, you would laugh at? Shaqs? Shaqs. He said Shaqs. Who else? Give me one. Everlast. K-Swiss. Let's see. That show you how messed up I am, because I like K-Swiss. You know? But back in the day, you would be roasted for that. So imagine me coming from a home where my mother saying, I hate the day you were born. You're the worst children that I ever saw. Why aren't you like the Jordans? Or why aren't you like this group and that family? And then I leave my mother saying that early to me in the morning, and then I go to school and I'm fat, and I got forehead, and I'm bald headed, and I ain't got no hair. All of these different things going on. So I said to myself, I'm not going to school. I give up. Because I feel too bad for about 8 hours. I feel too bad for 6 or 7 hours that it takes to go to school. So I left home, and I began cutting classes. I didn't leave home, but I cut classes. I didn't leave home at that time, but what happened was, for some reason, when you get with the bad crowd, when you get with people that's not doing what they're supposed to do, they really don't roast you like that. You know, and the only time it really happens is when you like just smoking that weed and you feel like laughing and you cracking on one another. Right. But they didn't treat you like my mother treated me, for sure. And then I had places that I would go, and friends' houses that I would go to, their mother didn't treat them like that. As a matter of fact, their mother loved them and hugged them and told them that she loved them. Their father was in the home. And so I'd rather be there than to be at my house. But I began to run the street doing drugs. I was strung out on a needle like Sister Denise was talking about. And of course, when you run out of veins to stick the needles in your arms, you shoot everywhere else. Between my toes, in my ankles, there's a blood vessel right here that if someone gets cut, they could die. And that's why I would shoot at. But you know what? One day, I looked up and I saw my life. And I realized that I wanted to be more. So, as someone said, I went to church. And you know what? I decided as I was in the church building, I decided to give my life to God. Because I wanted to be more. And after I became a member, and I was going and I was living a life, because of the words that I was hearing, something inspired me. And I'll say it's God. It inspired me to be more. And so, I went ahead and thought, how do you get to be more? You need information. What can I do? I don't know what I can do. I don't know about my skills, talents, and abilities. I don't know what God has placed in me. So the natural course was to go back to school and find out what you can do. So I went back to school. And I got into computers because I like computers. But after dealing with the computers, I realized that that just wasn't for me. I liked it. I use it today. It's a very good tool. But as I sat there as a computer analyst, I realized that I wanted to be more. So I went to school, and I got a bachelor's. in administration with a concentration in health. And that was beautiful. But one day it turned out that as I sat there in the office doing my work, pushing paper and ink pens and pencils, I realized that I wanted to be more. And so as I sat there, I said, I'm going back to school. So I went and I obtained a master's in addiction studies. All right. Because I wanted to help people get off drugs like I was on drugs. And that's beautiful, and I do that today. But as I sat there one day, I thought about it. You know what? I want to be more. Okay. So I said, I'll become a public speaker. And you know what? That's what I'm doing. But you know what? I want to be more. But see, because out of all of this that I've done, I found out that in order to be more, you got to do more. And when you do more, you can have more. And when you have more, you can give more. And when you give more, you can get more. And when you get more, you can give again, and you can help somebody else. So as I stand here today, I don't care what I get. Every morning when I wake up, I want to be more. Do you want to be more today? Do you want to be more today? Yes, listen. My favorite quote by George Washington Carver. Do all you can with all you have and never, ever give up. One more question. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? I want to be more. Thank you.